Jungle Juice. It's a webtoon. Is it good? Is it bad? Everyone's been praising it left and right. It's amazing. It has a great story. Is it legit? Well, that's what I'm going to be discussing today, and if you should read it or not. So let's get started. Alright, before we start it off, let me give a bit of a disclosure for you guys. For anyone that is prone to stress, anxiety, anger, frustration, basically basic human emotions that is towards like not comfortable, I guess, non-comfort, this webtoon is gonna bring that to the extreme. So if you do not like experiencing those emotions, I recommend you do not read this, because holy schmoly, this is by far the most stressful and most irksome webtoon I have ever read, to the point that I don't ever want to read it again. And let me just put that out there. I have read the whole thing, you know, at least until where it is at now, because there's like a hiatus right now. And the story, the story's fine. It's great, you know. The art, it's fantastic. You can see over here, look, the art looks pretty good, you know. It's not bad. It's amazing. But to me, there are just some moments, which I'll discuss later on in the video, that I do not really am a fan of. So with that out of the way, let me just start off with the context of the story. Wait, what is this webtoon about? You know, like, what is it? Okay, we get that you might not like it, but like, what is the webtoon actually about? Well, it's basically My Hero Academia, but instead of heroes, there's bug people, you know? There's this friggin' spray that goes around, and if you spray it's like a bug spray, people turn into like bug people, you know? Based on like the animal that they sprayed it on. And our MC over here, Sichuan, that's his name, I think Sichan or something like that. I don't remember. It's been like a week or a couple weeks or so since I last finished it. When I finished it, and basically he has like a dragonfly, and so he pretends to be like a normal human, so he doesn't like feel isolated and everything, because he feels depressed and whatnot, being lonely, you know, because he's already done that, trying not to get attention, but he's been lonely and depressed. So starting college, he decided to, you know, embrace himself, and obviously not letting anyone know. So he like crushes his wings, because he's a dragonfly. That's his like powers. He crushes his wings to not let everyone know. But obviously, if that was the case and no one discovered it, this webtoon would not be interesting. So obviously people do discover it, and then he ends up going into depression mode, and even almost offs himself until other people who are just like him like introduce themselves to him and like bring him to a world where there are people like him that are accepted, you know, basically called the Academy for Bugs. It's called Nest. That's the name. Yes. And yeah, that's basically the storyline. Sichuan tries to like try to find the cure for this, and the Academy has the cure. Nest, they have the cure. So in order to get the cure, he has to like do like multiple tests, graduate like classes and stuff like that. The top graduate or valedictorian gets the freaking potion called Cinderella, which turns them back to normal human. And that's the whole premise of this thing. It's Sichuan trying to get back to a normal human, but obviously that does not go as planned. There are some like obstacles and whatnot that happens. But with that out of the way, let me just talk about like some of the stuff that I don't really enjoy of this, you know. And the one thing is that, bro, like every single enemy we face, it's like we get no dubs, and the only dub we do get, it doesn't feel like it's a dub. It affects us more and negatively too than it does the enemy. Like there this like one moment we face this gigantic enemy and we defeat it, but like I don't want to spoil it too much, but basically it affects us negatively, okay? And our MC does not end up in a good position, let's just say that, okay? But the enemy, we just took out their big ass asset, so that must have affected them somehow. No, they're perfectly fine. Who cares, you know? Who cares? This gigantic enemy, basically kaiju, yeah, doesn't matter, you know. Who even cares about that? Like that doesn't affect them at all. The manpower, whatever, it's not affected. They have the main boss, who's basically the avatar of all bugs. He's basically one for all. They have like 3 or 5 super strong like people, basically Arankars, I guess you could say, in Bleach, like the 5 great Arankars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's also this chick who can manipulate people. Hello? And then there's this other kaiju that friggin' is undefeatable at this point. At least requires multiple people to be present to defeat it, okay? And what do we have? The good guys? What do we have? Okay, this might be a bit of a spoiler, so I'm gonna put like a timestamp so you guys could skip it if you don't want to get spoiled. Basically, Nest has a professor who's a bum, who gets comatose. He couldn't even take out the enemy. We have a principal who comes out of his dorm or whatever. He's also a bum. He couldn't even do anything. And the way they introduced him, he was like a badass and everything. Like, he has this long beard and everything. Oh, yes, he must be great, you know? Sichuan was fighting this other chick, Mantis chick, and he almost killed her. But this other dude interfered and like threw an attack at him. And Sichuan, obviously, he's the main character, so he wouldn't die. And his friend was coming to save him, so come on now. But the professor came in and deflected that attack. I was like, hell yeah, baby. We're about to get this counter attack ready. No, the professor was like, just leave. One of the professors was almost dead. I'm sorry, I meant the dean. The dean came in to like stop the attack and everything. One of the professors, the only professor, which boggles my mind, is capable of fighting, is in a comatose vegetated state by fighting these one Arankars or whatever equivalent to that. And what does the dean do? He lets them go. One of them is almost dead because of Sichuan, but he just lets it go. Okay, maybe we'll just take care of it later. No, spoiler, they don't take care of it. And then we have the medical staff, I guess. One of the teachers that's like the freaking top of healers and everything. Basically a Sanin over here, the healer of gods, whatever. She gets freaking comatose as well for the time being, because someone is a traitor in the academy. That's just fantastic. And this traitor works for the enemy that is stronger than us. That's just amazing, you know? That's fantastic. And what do we have? What do we have? We have Propolis, which is most of the time gone, and they can't even do anything against people stronger than them, so they're goddamn useless. They're only a bit useful. And then what do we have? We have the #1 student. Yeah, over here, this guy. Oh my god, the way they did him dirty. Holy, this is the king of bums. I swear. He gets introduced at the last chapter. He destroys these enemies, the Arankars, or equivalent to them, bug people. No problem, but he doesn't kill them. Why doesn't he kill them? Okay. I just don't understand. He destroys them, and these people, as I told you, defeated like the professor, who's only capable of fighting, and destroyed like almost all of the academy. He demolishes them. Seconds. He's basically the All Might. I mean, he's built like All Might. Look at this mother effer. Like, look at this. He also has like thick ass legs and muscly ass arms. You could basically tell he's like All Might. This guy is basically one for all, right? And this guy, he decides to attack the main boss. Like, hello? Okay. Hey, maybe he got it, you know? Maybe he's him. So he tries to attack. He gets holded down by like chains of webs from the main guy. He breaks free, and then he tries to kill off the other people, which I'm like, yes, finally, kill them. No, he gets restrained again, but this time his arm is cut off. That's a problem. That cannot be healed. You don't have those powers. Maybe we should flee, you know? Go back to Nest and like cooperate again, and then attack the... Oh, you decide to kill him? He decides to kill him. Bro, you couldn't do that with 2 arms. How are you gonna do that with 1? At that point, I know he was done for. And the way they introduced this mother effer, bro, last chapter, they were like, oh, this guy is the #1 student of the whole academy. He's the strongest one here. He's the one who can wield his powers the best, to the maximum, you know? And the way they made him more cool was the fact that he did not graduate. Even though he could graduate, he withheld his graduation because he wanted to make sure that Nest was at a strong foothold when he left, so he wouldn't feel like he was leaving behind his responsibilities and whatnot. He wanted basically his will to be left there, I guess. So before he could take the Cinderella and return back to a normal human, that's what he wanted. And I was like, oh damn, he's withholding his graduation. He's that strong. Holy. And no, this guy dies as well. So what are we left with? We've left with a bum ass professor, bum #1, who's comatose, bum #2, who's a dean who can't do anything. I don't even know what the hell he does. What is his job? Bro, he just roams around the school of the perimeter? Bro, you're trash. You can't even detect the enemies. They're like far away watching you. What's the point of you going around the perimeter of the nest? You're not doing anything. You couldn't even accomplish anything, basically. We have this other dude who's somewhat useful, and he's like the director. He's controlling nest and everything, but his decision making is trash. Like Sichuan, there's this moment where he gets what do you call it? Sabotage, or like I can't find the right word for it, but basically they jeopardized him into making it look like he killed someone, but he didn't. But they immediately arrest him. Like, where's the investigation? Hello? So he has horrible decision making when it comes to that. Number 4, and Sichuan is like the only one who becomes useful later on. Plus with the group he's in, because he gets kidnapped with a group that makes him learn his powers, and that group plus Sichuan are the only ones who can basically accomplish anything, and basically accomplish anything at all, especially with the moth incident, which was the only event or arc that I felt like hyped about, you know, because every other fight you feel hyped, but then you get destroyed again. Like, can we ever get it up, man? This is basically like Jujutsu Kaisen with how the author treats Yuji Itadori, but in this case, instead of the main character being treated that way, it's us, the audience, okay? Because every single time we meet an enemy, you're like, okay, so who's gonna die next? Who's the next target? And bro, why is it gonna be the people they kill off? It's like baddies too. Like, why? Just kill off this random ass people that we don't care about. Well, why? And it just makes Sichuan's, or the MC's, I guess Sichuan's case worse, because he's thought to be a killer. And then when they try to investigate, and then the enemy kills her, and she's near Sichuan, they think Sichuan is the one killed her. Ah, brother. This, you can see why it's a headache and why it's stressful, you know? And with Propolis' #1 student, who's the strongest within Nest, dead. I don't know what the hell he was thinking, making himself die there. Like, that's not gonna help the academy at all. And with his wisdom-ass words of, oh, the Nest can survive because they have nurtured the strong students. How would you know? You haven't visited Nest in like years, all right? That's basically how it looks like. And him dying, bro, you're just gonna make the enemy stronger. The enemy, I'm pretty sure they stated this, right? Just comment down below if I'm wrong about this. They stated that if the enemies, like these people, hold on. Okay, not this. These people, if they eat other human bug people, then they get stronger and they can take some of their powers as well, right? The hell is this gonna help the academy if you're dying and you're making the enemy stronger? Brother, that is not gonna make any benefit. Like, hello? Like, I just wondered the logic. What was going on? You attacking, dying does not benefit the academy. You staying with the academy benefit the academy, you know? Defeating the other members of these Arankars, bro, you managed to do that with ease. So I think it would have been better if you died while you managed to kill them. But no, you couldn't even accomplish that. So like, what's the, it's just so stressful, you know. And then the last chapter, that was just the cherry on top, you know. That just made me quit this manhwa, even though I finished it. Yes, I know the hypocrisy, but I don't think I'll be continuing on because this is my heart can't take it anymore, right? So basically, the last chapter, there's this girl who called Chi-chan a monster. She like gets a text message from him, and at that point, I was like, oh god, this is not him. And she wanted to apologize because she witnessed like a bit of Sichuan defeating like the monsters, so she now knows he's a good guy. So she goes to his room. It's been like a year, and he texts her to come to his place. You're just gonna accept that? You're just gonna be like, okay, no text backs, but just go. Okay, well, I guess she feels guilty, so she's not talking much. So she goes to his place. She opens the door, and then who's there? There's this biatch, this manipulator chick who has this bug spray and sprays it over her, and that's how the chapter ends. Wow, you know, all the stressful situations, I was like, hell yeah, this is gonna be a wholesome moment of her apologizing to Si-chan. Nope, she's gonna turn into a bug monster. Oh my god. And the one who does it too is this person who can manipulate people. That's just fantastic. That's actually amazing, you know. That's fantastic. Yeah, time to draw out Si-chan's attention and trap him in with this girl that he used to like. That's amazing, you know. Yep. So I personally don't like it, but it's not because the story is bad. The story is well written, because if it wasn't well written, I wouldn't be feeling this frustrated, you know. It's well written to the point where it's too good. All right. I don't want to continue reading this. This is just so infuriating. The good guys never win. And if you guys are gonna comment like, well, what's the difference between this and Jujutsu Kaisen? Because Jujutsu Kaisen, the good guys never win either. Well, the difference is that in Jujutsu Kaisen, you have assurance that when Gojo Satoru appears, you know, the bad guys won't be like winning. They'd be scared. They'd be running away. In this case, it's the opposite. We're scared. We're running away. What? They have strong ass people. Who do we have? Students? That's all we have. We don't have anybody else protecting us. Like, hello? And the students, they're not even strong. Sichuan and Propolis are like the only ones. And that's like, what? 4 or 5 members? 6, maybe? What about the whole population of the academy? None. The other side characters that we have, our friends and whatnot, no offense, but they're not basically suitable either, you know, to like carry out special missions and whatnot. So that's useless. I just don't understand why they killed off this guy, you know? Just, bro, you should just run away. This chick almost died, please. That's just enough of me, you know? So if you want to go check it out, the art's good. Story is good. Infuriating good. There's hype moments. There's not some hype moments. Yeah, that's basically all from me. And I just wanted to make this video because I felt very frustrated reading this. And I can't believe I wasted all my time only for that type of cliffhanger. So, yeah, that's it from me. See you guys next time. Peace.